this is where we get excited about what we do. 2 or 3 things here. Quick question, does anybody measure their website traffic? Okay, 2, 4, 5, 6, about 8 or 10. So the rest of you don't know how many visitors you're getting to your website. Okay, it could be none, it could be 10,000. For those of you that do measure, if I can ask any volunteer, has anybody gets over 10,000 hits a month and 10,000 unique visitors a month? Okay, anybody getting over 1,000 unique visitors a month? Okay, dare I ask, you don't have to answer this, roughly, and I don't know you, we've never met, etc., ballpark, how many inquiries a month do you get off your website? Okay, that wasn't even as many as I thought you were going to say. But that isn't detrimental to you, that's just the internet. Okay, I actually spoke to one of our partners yesterday. They're a web design company up in Scotland. Last month they had 1,009 unique visitors to their website by the end of June, and they had 6 inquiries. What that means is they had 1,003 unique visitors went to their website because they were interested in what they do. They were either fishing to find out what their competition is doing, or they're interested in getting a website. But they don't know who they are, and they've got 6 leads, and they're a real good web design company. So it's not detrimental. Well, I'm glad you measure it. So if we could double that, that's what I normally say at this. If you'd have said to me 1, and I said if we could double that to 2, then we could double your website performance. 99% of every visitor to every website does not contact the website owner. What that means is for every single one of you, whether it was a month for 1,000, a year for 1,000, a day for 1,000, the maximum you can reasonably expect is 10 inquiries. Okay? So who were the other 990 visitors to your site that were interested enough to find you? Even the top Fortune 500 companies spend millions on their website and get a 96% dropout rate. When you go into a website, you've got an 8-second attention span. You're going to click on or click off, so you've got to get someone to take action in that 8 seconds. If they don't see what they want and they're looking for that next link, that next page, I'll go and look in another site, or I'll go down the pub, whatever it might be. My point here being, what can you do to make something happen when that visitor comes to your site?
So, Alan, did you find that useful? Was that interesting?
Very useful indeed, yes, and I think it's actually a very important topic for all businesses, and particularly at a time when we're looking at economic difficulties.
Yeah, I think that was one of the themes. I think was how to make sure that you sort of do spend your money effectively, because a lot of people will just say, right, we'll cut the money out, but actually that's the wrong thing to do.
No, it's all about, I think, spending the money more efficiently and having a measurable return.
Which I hope that came through today, did it?
Absolutely it did, yeah. I think that is so important.
Good, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Very much.
Thanks, Alan.
Thanks for the presentation.
What did you find the most sort of interesting part of the presentation today?
I think all of the categories of products that you were making available, and I think almost without exception. I think I was amazed that you mentioned that the average age of a texter was 47.
I know.
I cannot believe that.
It's incredible, isn't it?
I cannot believe that.
Well, Johnny, I mean, how did you find that this afternoon?
That was very, very good indeed. Excellent. Very informative the whole way through.
Good.
Andy kept everybody's attention the whole way through. Very good presentation. The information I found very, very useful indeed.
Was there anything in particular that caught your attention?
Absolutely. I've spent over £30,000 advertising with Google AdWords, and the frustrating thing I found was not being able to capture people's email addresses of people who had actually looked at the site.
Okay.
And the figures that Andy gave were absolutely pinpoint accurate, that 99% of people who click on the site don't actually fill in any details.
Good.
But the system that Andy showed really could have quadrupled the amount of leads I had coming through.
Oh, that's good. So that's something that you'd be interested in exploring.
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thanks. So, Peter, did you find this afternoon interesting, useful?
Excellent. It was very enjoyable and informative, I would say.
Good, good. And was there sort of any particular aspect that really caught your imagination this afternoon? Or?
I think it's lead generation was the bit I really found interesting, because that's important to everyone, lead generation, and if you can do it for low cost and low resource, then that's that's interesting. So.
Good. I suppose especially in the current economic climate, that's got to be top of everybody's agenda, really, hasn't it?
Absolutely. So for little money and lots of leads, that's
Good.
always important for everyone.
Excellent. Good. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and thank you very much for coming along.
Welcome.
Thanks.